friends, welcome back to Crusty Cranks. Okay, first off I want to say I apologize. We got 7-degree temperatures outside, so you're going to hear my furnace and my space heater running. And ain't nothing I can do about that, but I hope it don't bother you too bad. But okay, I got a bunch of requests to paint different baits, so I'm going to start trying to knock them out. This is from one of my Instagram subscribers and YouTube subscribers, Emilio, and this is the Smallmouth Rose. It's a 6 cents bait, and he wanted to see how close I could come. Now, I only have to have pictures to go by, so he sent me some really good pictures and videos of them, so I'm going to do my best with what I got to work with. And I don't have the actual body styles, but I got something close, and actually we're just after the paint scheme anyway. So let me get everything set up, and we'll get started painting this bait. Okay, I think we're ready. I had to take another look and make sure I had all the paints out. You know how I am, sometimes I'll get to the end and think of another paint, but I try to get these out and at least ahead of time. So here's what we're going to do. This bait has like a soft rose pink color on the back, and it's kind of got that slight tint through the body. So we're going to take some pink and we're going to mix it with some transparent white, and we're going to dull that down just a little bit. It's a little red coming out of this bottle. I spray tested one coming out of this bottle. It's a US Art Supply paint. And as I said in my last video, I'm trying to use these up because I want to go with some different stuff. And so anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take some white, transparent white. We're going to dilute it down, dilute this pink down. Now, I wished I had a transparent, but I have an opaque, so I'm going to use transparent white though. So we're going to make a little pink out of that. And it also has a white belly, so we're going to put a white on the belly. And then it has this... this is the closest thing I can come to, I think, without actually looking at the physical bait. But I got some dark green tin Valleyjo for around the eyes. It's got kind of a iridescent tin green around the eyes, and a little bit on the top of the head and shoulders. Just a little bit. It kind of fades back. And then we're going to come back with this Valleyjo red on the belly. Kind of has that red iridescent look, kind of the color shift red. So I tested this on a spoon and it looks pretty good, so that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to take some gold flake, real fine gold flake, mixed with our epoxy, and coat this bait with gold flake. So let's get the airbrushes loaded up, get the paint mixed up. I'll show you the paint mix, and you know, we'll play around with it. I have not painted this before, so let's give it a shot. All right, let's get a good bit of white in the cup, because I want to make sure I got enough. I don't want to run out. I'm gonna paint 2 baits here, so make sure I got a nice little cup full. When you mixing, you want to make sure you get enough, just to make sure so you don't have to go back and try to match it. Okay, so we got some transparent white, and then we got this pure pink. So we're just gonna start off with like 2 drops, because I tested this before and it looked pretty good. And I can always add a little more white if I need to lighten it up a little bit, but you could probably, if you didn't have pink, you could probably use a little bit less red. I think we need a little more pink. didn't mix as much last time, so there we go. Now we're getting there. Okay, I'm going to get this in the brush. Just get it to where you got a nice little washed out looking pink. I'll get this in the brush and let's spray it on and see what it looks like. Okay, so there's our pink. I put a total, there's like 7.5 milliliters total in here for paint. So I think I had about 10 drops. Of pink. I had to pull it off camera, take a look at it, and had to add a couple more drops. So 8 to 10 drops is about what I use. 7.5 milliliters of paint in that cup. And see what it looks like. Okay. I'd rather be able to control how dark it is. And it's going on a transparent base. So I have to spray it a few times to build it up, I'm sure. See if it has that. Just want to dust the sides a little bit so it has that little bit of pink in it. And we're not too worried about the belly too much, but we're going to hit it just a little bit. Okay, so another thing, you can hold it up to the light and see how thick it is. You just want to dust it. Got a fly poop spot on there. It's almost going to look like your paint ain't dark enough, but as you can see, it darkens up pretty quick. So I'm just going down the back. All right, that's really going to pop out when the epoxy hits it. All right, I'm gonna let that dry for a minute, clean this brush out, and I'll be back for the next color. Okay, next we're gonna put a little titanium white on the throat and the belly, just a little bit. That's what it has. All right, push this out, dry that up. As I said in a couple videos before, I do dry mine with a hair dryer. I just don't do it on camera anymore because who wants to hear that blow dryer running? So, but I do blow dry them. All right, I'll bring you back. Okay, brought you in a little closer. Okay, off camera, while I had to charge my camera up a little bit. So while I was waiting, I went on and put the Valleyjo in. And all I did was just spray the Valleyjo on the clear bait. And that's what I came up with. Because I was almost wondering, do I have to put the white in there? Maybe just the Valleyjo would be enough. So we're gonna finish this one out. We're gonna do, and then we'll epoxy them both. And I'll go back and put the white on the throat, but and then we'll put the eye color in. But we'll see which ones look the closest, because I think this Valleyjo is really close, but we'll see. We're gonna put a little hint of that other dark tin on the back, just a little bit, and around the eyes. So we'll spray the Valleyjo on here and see what it does with this white and pink, and we'll see, because it doesn't have that deeper pink color because we're spraying it on clear. So I'm really curious how this is going to look on top of that pink and white. I don't want to get it too dark because the bait is pretty transparent. But we're this far in, and sometimes, you know, that's the way you do it. You just experiment with things and find out what looks the best. And it's not like either one of these baits won't get used. That's for sure. Some people think that you have to put black under that Valleyjo. Not all the time. Sometimes you'd be surprised what you can get just spraying it over top of other colors. This one's really deepening up on the back, and it's got that more of a rose pink color to it. And I know in the light we got right here, it almost looks like you can't see through it, but when you hold it up to the light, you can see through it. And I know the camera don't show that very well. But you may have to layer that Valleyjo. If you just do the Valleyjo, I would say layer it until you get the color you want. But it does start to go a little more of a tinnish green color, which, if that's what you like too, it does give it that shiny iridescence of a fish. But okay, we're gonna let this dry. They do dry back a little darker too as they dry, so we're gonna dry this one, and we'll come back and put the dark around the eyes. And I think it had a little bit on the, not that much. Okay, all right, bring you back. Okay, last color here. We're gonna put this Valleyjo just around the eyes and the top of the nose. And I got my pressure turned way down because I don't want it to get too dark. And I definitely don't want it to run. So I'll probably hit it. Dry it with some air. And then just pull back just a little bit to get it coming out again. It's not going to take much. I think that's it right there, as a matter of fact. Maybe a little bit more on this side. I know this is probably hard to see on camera. But there's very little paint on this thing, on this part. Like I said, it'll probably really show up good once you get the epoxy on it. Starting to get a little heavy right there. This stuff is so thin. I got my 0.2 needle in here. And this brush. And I already did the other ones. I think that's gonna be it. Got a little bit heavy right there. See if I can fade that in just a little bit. All right. Okay, so next we're going to put the epoxy on, and we're going to put the gold flake in the epoxy. And I probably won't show that part, but you'll be able to see it. I'm sure the gold flake's gonna stand out. All right, so that's pretty much it. Here's the clear ones with just the Valleyjo on it. Do a little 1.5 because that's kind of close to what pictures that he sent me. But yeah, let's get some epoxy on it, and we'll wrap this video up. Oh, well, I guess we better put some eyes on it. Let's let it dry for a minute, get some eyes on it, and then we'll put the epoxy on it. Okay, now the eyes were kind of gold with black, and this is what I came up with. This was the closest thing I had. So I think they look pretty close. So I went with a gold iridescent green eye. Let's see if I get one here. This little guy right here. So I'll stick these on this 110. I honestly think the closest match is not using the white. But hey, we'll see what happens. Once we put the epoxy on, it should give it a different look. It kind of looks flat, but epoxy will bring it back out. And like I said, you can see through it. You probably can't tell on camera, but I hold them up to the light and I can still see through it. It's still pretty transparent. So I just stuck the wrong size eye on there. I did. Thought that looked kind of big. Luckily it didn't glue down. There we go. That's better. Okay, so let these eyes dry, and I'll epoxy this guy. The Smallmouth Rose by 6 cents baits. Okay, friends, here's the finished Smallmouth Rose with the gold flake. I like it. I like it. I think I like the one with the just the Valleyjo on it better. I think it's a closer match. I got me a new booth here, so hopefully you can see the transparency in the bait. It's almost like going outside, but not quite. But yeah, so that's the finished piece. Here, let's take a little closer look at it so you can see the clear transparency shows up pretty good. If I can get it in focus here. And yeah, like the color shifts on it. Looking good, looking good. And then I'll show you the white one. One with the white. It's still transparent, but not as transparent as the one with the just the Valleyjo on it, but you can still see through it. Which the gold flake shows up a little better on the white too, I believe. Let's take a look at the 1.5. That little bait right there is going to be a knocker. I can tell. These little 1.5s, they run good. I really like them. Okay, so colors we used was the U.S. Art Supply transparent white, U.S. Art Supply pure pink. Then we used the Valleyjo color shifts, the red gold, and then on the top we used the Valleyjo color shifts dark green 10. So yeah, another video down. Hope you guys enjoying the videos. Stay tuned. I got a bunch more stuff coming up for the future, and even going to throw in some more bait builds. So everybody's been asking about doing more bait builds, so definitely going to work that into the schedule for this year, 2025. But I appreciate all the new subscribers. I love you guys' comments and emails that you send. I really appreciate it. So stay tuned and stay crusty, my friends.